It's time to get all your Star Wars news in a single file. From Fantha Tracks TV, this is Good Morning Tatooine!
Good morning, Tatooine. Indeed, we're back once again. Not this week with a weekly recap of the latest Star Wars news, but a special show just to mark the end of the year. We'll be recapping our favourite bits from the past year, looking a little bit ahead to next year, and reflecting on the people that we lost this year as well. And to join me in all that is my co-host in crime, Mr. Paul Naylor.
Hello there, sir. I'm here in a snowy Scariff. Very nice to be joining you. Are you well?
I am very well. I had a lovely Christmas. Did you?
Yeah, it was okay. Just nice and calm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been busy at work.
Weren't on holiday anywhere.
No, and I'm not on holiday now. It's just a background here. If I don't put this on, you'll go, ah!
Oh, dear. I went to Lapland.
Did you?
Yeah, lots of happy little kids there, which was nice to see because they don't often let 18-year-olds in.
Well, unless Lapland's a gentleman's club, but...
Ah, dear. Do we want to get straight into the Good Morning Tatooine 2025 awards?
We'll give it a go.
Let's do it. Let's bring up the awards.
Hey.
First award of the year. Best show, animated, live action, TV or movie, Paul. And we both picked Andor Season 2.
I think that's the only contender really for us, isn't it? Yeah. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
What was it about Andor that worked so well?
I just think that it's a drama that anybody could get into, whether they were a Star Wars fan or not. It was very well written. Dialogue was great. Brilliantly acted. And didn't rely too heavily on special effects. It was there was a lot of sort of real world environments, and an intriguing plot that ran throughout it. I just thought it was a really enjoyable final sort of throw of the dice for Andor, and led brilliantly and seamlessly into Rogue One. So for me, it was great.
Spencer there joined us earlier in the year and also ran one of the best events of the year out at Star Wars Celebration through his virtual cantina as well. So good to see you in the chat there, Spencer. Happy New Year to you as well.
Spencer.
Look forward to seeing what you've got coming up this coming year. Also in the chat, Mr. Mark Newbold from FanthaTracks.com.
Hello,
Happy
mate.
Festiveness.
That's the bit in between the two big days, I think. Happy Festiveness. Yeah, fantastic.
The thing that with Andor that worked for me, I think more than anything, was it tapped in so well to establish Star Wars continuity, going all the way back to 1977.
Yeah.
All the way through. It did its own thing with original characters. We had Mon Mothma, we had Bail Organa, but really it was probably the first time those characters had been truly established as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So it was almost like working with a clean slate. Amazingly, the content of the show landed almost quite perfectly to do with world politics at the time, even though it was written years before. I think that helps at times because it wasn't referencing what was going on in the world, but it certainly touched on people's feelings and different things that were going on in the world. And sometimes I think that's a better way, rather than very clear references to what's going on. It could not possibly have known what was going to happen.
No.
And it's a cycle effect. Really. The tones and things that Andor touched on tend to reoccur over and over again in the world. So
yeah.
Its timing was excellent as well.
Yeah, and George Lucas used a lot of sort of Vietnam-related content to sort of inspire the original Star Wars Empire and Jedi, didn't he? So, yeah.
So, yeah, best show of the year and the first winner of the 2025 Good Morning Tatooine Awards, Andor Season 2.
Can I hand it over to Diego Luna in person?
If you want. if you want.
I will.
Next award, Best Episode, Animated or Live Action. And you went for Jeddah Kyber Erso, which was episode 12 of Andor Season 2.
I did. I just like the way that it wrapped things up. It didn't do it in a convoluted sort of way. For ages, I've been banging my gums saying, we need to see Daniel Mays and we need to see this and we need to see that. And, we didn't. We didn't need to see that. We just needed them to allude to the fact that Cassian was on his way to meet him. And the absolute brilliance of the show was that, as well as giving us what we knew was coming, was giving us that slight sort of curveball of seeing the baby Cassian with his mother.
Could be the baby walking... Imperial.
No, we fought him off. How dare you, sir?
I didn't like the last episode as much as the other episodes, purely because of this scene that I took a picture of, where he's just sauntering through the whole of Yavin 4. They've just got the information that there's a world-destroying battle station coming their way, and he's just having a little saunter through, giving a little wave and a little high five to people as he goes.
Oh, the arrogance of the man.
It was just a little... That scene on its own was just a little bit convoluted, I thought. But yeah, it was a solid episode. It did wrap up things in a nice way. Yeah. But just that scene irritated.
What was your favourite then?
So, I gave the award to a different episode.
Go on then.
Which was Who Are You? Which probably brought the whole Gorman story that had been building up over the season effectively to a climax. And I thought it built it really well and executed it very well. And it got into that nice grey area of any kind of TV show goes to, is who's the good guys, who's the bad guys, and the good guys are capable of doing bad things, kind of thing. And because obviously you had Andor seeking to assassinate someone. Is it ever acceptable to assassinate a political opponent? Big question for 2025. Because we've had a few instances and indeed some successful assassinations. And I thought I also had one of the best scenes from the whole season, which was the fight scene. Because it was a little bit Bridget Jones fight scene inspired, I felt. Which is another random reference.
Here we go, come on.
But it was done in a way where it wasn't a technical fight scene. It wasn't sophisticated. It wasn't a beautiful you know what I mean? It wasn't a beautiful organised fight. It was messy and it was great. And it just had that killer line of "Who are you?" right smack bang in the middle of it. And heartbreaking in a way. He was crushed.
Well, I mean, he was a favourite character of yours, so when that happened, you were a bit sort of blown away by that, weren't you?
I was very upset.
To be honest, I can't think of a single weak episode in the whole of season 2.
The one where they were on the jungle at Yavin 4.
No, was that the one where they were trying to move the TIE fighter? So he was shooting.
That was a weak episode.
I suppose. But generally, the standard of it was superb. Certainly for me, the best Star Wars that we've had.
Yeah. Let's move on to best character from an animated or live action show. And you went for Clea.
I did. I just I really like it when they take a character that certainly in season 1 was pretty much a background character, and they become so relevant, particularly in the episode where she's basically going to try and finish off her boss. I suppose that was her mission, really, was to go and do that. We then get to see Granny E.T. And it's just Star Wars has done it a few times now with its TV shows where it's brought to the foreground a very much a background character, and in this case, I felt not only was it a good use of the character, but she's a really good actress. So I thought she played the part brilliantly. Um, and as a standalone show, that one episode could have been like, a perfect drama, really. So I loved that.
The thing, I guess, about that character as well is that when you go back and you watch it from the start of season one, you do not even remotely suspect the arc that character is going to go on
No, no,
and the prominence that character is going to become. And I
yeah,
do wonder if there was ever the intention for that arc and that prominence, or whether it was just a case of they realised what an incredible actress they had on their hands.
could be that. It could simply be that yeah, that she sort of did such a great job that they thought, right, let's write her a special episode. Um, you could say much the same of what they did for Pershing and the Imperial in that episode of was it The Mandalorian?
Yeah,
That again was a brave choice, but I think that this was more successful in terms of execution and delivery.
yeah. Um, I went for Orson Krennic.
Never heard of him. Never heard of him.
And we're going to have an award in a moment for best performance. And
Yeah.
I hesitated as to whether to give this best character or best performance, because he could have won both for
Yeah.
me. But I went for best character because of the impact the character had on the season.
Hmm.
It felt like he elevated Andor to the next level by his presence, his
Yeah.
connection to Rogue One, and it gave the series a very clear Mr. Evil
Yeah.
that it needed, that it could focus on. Um, it was an interesting choice to bring him in, because obviously they consciously elected not to bring the Emperor in, not to bring Darth Vader in.
Yeah.
And I think that was the right choice, although I was kind of gutted in the end, because I would love to have seen the Emperor have a real meaty scene in the Senate chamber.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen that. Just him to play his Emperor ways a little bit, to play to the crowd a little bit. Because we only really saw that once, and that was when he was sworn in as Emperor. We've never really seen him play the political game right to their faces, and I wanted to see that, and we didn't get that, and I was gutted.
Yeah.
But Krennic were able to bring in, who didn't overshadow the series, but I don't know. I want to say he gave it some credibility. He bridged the gap between movies and TV, and made it one universe to me.
Yeah, I'm like you, and previously, and I think I've said on the show that I would have loved to have seen Vader and Palps, but ultimately they weren't needed to elevate the
Yep.
show. The show was great anyway, and what I like about Krennic is they got him on board, but they didn't overuse him.
Yes.
They really just it was quite subtle how they used him, and yeah, I agree with you. I think he does connect the film and the TV series seamlessly. It's somebody of that gravitas in a TV show that helps to lift it, slightly elevate it above normal streaming TV standards, I suppose.
Yeah. We talked about best performance, and in voice or live action, you went for Jordan Wood, played by
I
Jude
did.
Law in Skeleton
I
Crew.
thought, yeah, I thought. I mean, we all know that I love Andor season two, but the last couple of episodes of Skeleton Crew actually aired right at the beginning of 2025, and I just think that Jude Law really embraced the role, and he brought some nuance to what was a very, very sort of almost delicate sort of tightrope of a role where he was sort of having to go from being a complete and utter narcissist, somebody that showed that he actually cared about the kids, although that turns out to have been purely an act. But I thought he was quite a complex character who went from being a pirate to a potential Jedi to a hero to a villain. Um, Probably the most messed up character that we've had in Star Wars in either a TV or a film. Um, no, I loved his performance. And again, somebody of Jude's quality who is known primarily for his film work, for him to have been in that show and to have brought something to it that I think other actors would have struggled with. All power to him. So it was a great performance.
I was surprised by his performance, and I wasn't a Jude Law fan. I wasn't excited by his casting announcement, to be perfectly honest. And when I realised he was going to be playing a pirate, I didn't buy it. I just thought, no, he can't do that. So yeah, hats off to him. He made it work. And as you say, it was a complicated character with multiple layers. And like we see in this scene, he brought a gun out and aimed it at a small child, which is always a great thing in my book. My best performance, I went for Anton Lesser for Partagaz and Andor.
Yeah.
Similar to Clea in a way, in that he had a role which was important, but throughout the series it was more to progress the plot kind of a role.
Yeah.
And I would imagine at the beginning of season 1 that it never really had this arc or intention of where this character would go. But once again, you see the phenomenal performances he put in. I think he was then rewarded with something very special. And that scene, heartbreaking scene at the end, for me, where he's listening to the tape of the manifesto of the rebels, and realizes that he's in trouble with the big boss, and he opts to take his own life. And you have that little moment where you don't see it, and you just see outside the door, and they all kind of have their little moment there.
And that's beautifully acted as well, isn't
it?
By that officer who just sort of like, no, leave it.
And it was really sad.
Yeah.
And it's. I know I favour the Imperials, but when you're supposed to be the bad guys, to have an emotional scene with the bad guys, that takes talented acting.
Yeah, and talented script writing and everything. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for me, it was very much. It brought to mind the finale of the Shawshank Redemption, where the warden's in his office and he loads his gun and blasts his own brains out. It was that sort of like, yeah, well, I'm not getting in. I'm not getting out of this. So bye bye, and off he goes. Like, you know, but yeah, no, good shout.
Good shout. Andor winning hands down when it comes to characters, performances, awards so far. So let's change up a little bit. Let's go for literature and see what you consider to be the best literature of the year.
Okay. Well, I've got a couple of books that I've got.
Wait.
You've got a slide.
And, oh dear, don't say the technology is broken.
Don't worry, I've got props.
Hurrah!
Here we go. Yay.
You picked 2 books.
I did, and really, I suppose they're both reference books, aren't they? I have collected the comics over the years in various forms, back in the day in '78 and through Empire and Jedi. But for me, these days, I get more enjoyment out of a book that I can sort of refer to. So, the Star Wars Encyclopedia that's had various incarnations. I think there was a version in 2015 and 2019. This was updated towards late 2024, but I actually had it this year. And then for Christmas, bless her, my daughter bought the Star Wars archives for me. And they're two brilliant books. If an encyclopedia, that's something that you can just sort of like refer to every now and then. Nice little paragraphs about characters' significant and background, um, more often than not with a picture. And the Star Wars archives, which, like I say, I've had for Christmas. In fact, got it here. Um, so I haven't had much chance to look at it yet, but uh, to have something that's effectively the making of Star Wars in book form and Empire and Jedi, um, I can't wait to get into that. That will be a fantastic read, and I'm sure there'll be things in there that I've either forgotten or never known. And that's what I like about these books is that there's always something in there. Doesn't matter how much you know about Star Wars, there's always going to be something in there that you've missed
Yeah.
and catches you off guard. So those are I've gone for those as joint winners for me.
I picked two books as well. Seeing as you picked two, I thought I'm going to pick two. I picked a book and a comic. So I went for
Excellent.
Doug Chiang's The Cinematic Legacy Volume 1 and the Star
Nice.
Wars Legacy Volume 2, which comes as a nice 2-pack. I'm not going to pick it up. It is on the floor next to me, but I've got a very sore back and it's a very heavy book. And I picked it not only because it's well presented and well written, but because I think Doug Chiang is not celebrated enough.
Yeah, I'd agree
Joe
with that.
Johnston, Ralph McQuarrie created an incredible foundation with the original trilogy. Doug Chiang, real focus of his work came along when it came with the prequel trilogy.
Yes.
What an incredible challenge to do something to match Ralph McQuarrie, Joe Johnston, but to
Yeah.
make it fresh and to make it new. And he was up to that task, and that in itself is something incredible. And then when you start going through his work on here and his work on things you didn't even realise he worked on, an incredible, really incredible legacy, as the book calls it, and a real celebration of his work. And I got a chance to meet him at Star Wars Celebration in Germany, where I had a VIP pass, very, very posh. He was one of two people who were guests in the VIP room, the first one being Dave Filoni, my good friend Dave, and Doug Chiang. And there was very few people went to the Doug Chiang meet and greet because there was a big panel on at the same time. And so there was probably only about a dozen of us there.
Really?
And we just got to
Wow.
sit and just chat with him.
Yeah.
And it was an incredible learning experience. And the passion of the guy really flowed out. And ever since that moment, I've just had this will to celebrate his work. Because, he just loves Star Wars. He lives and breathes it. And his thoughts and his, the lengths that he goes through in terms of his design. And you read about it and learn about it in this 2 volumes. Unparalleled. And so I think his name should be spoken in the same breath as Joe Johnston and Ralph McQuarrie.
Absolutely.
And an incredible talent. So that's why I picked that book. Highly
Good
recommend
shout.
it. Recognise it's very expensive, but honestly, worth every penny. And second to that, I picked the comic book series Legacy of Vader, which came from Charles Soule, a writer who, again, is not celebrated because he does so much Star Wars work. It feels like that his contribution sometimes just quietly exists without great fanfare. And in the Legacy of Vader series, he really tries to challenge what we know about Kylo Ren and what we know about Vader, introduces some elements that people might consider controversial. I like that because it reminded me of the Dark Horse Comics era where they weren't afraid to let's throw a spanner in there and see if it connects. And I got a little bit of that feeling with this series, and I kind of enjoyed it. I kind of liked the way it challenged preconceived notions and assumptions, and more for that in the future. So that was my 2 picks for the year.
Excellent. Good choices, Brian. I like those.
Next, best moment of the year. Can be a show or something in real life. You went for Star Wars returns to theatres for the 50th anniversary, Paul.
Yeah, I just thought the announcement was just something that people have been crying out for years. I know you got to go along to a special screening earlier this year.
Yeah,
the British Film Institute. Yeah. And I think probably off the back of how well that was received, we've now got this further rollout. Whether it will be the same print that you saw or something slightly different, I don't know.
As far as I'm aware, and I understand it's not, my understanding is that it is a 6K restoration of original tapes. So not a cinematic print, but going back to the original tape
source
prints.
Material, yeah.
And that it's obviously re-edited, but re-edited to match the original film. There's some elements improved. For example, the Vaseline under the lightsaber.
Under the land speeder.
But the enhancements that they've done aren't to change, if that makes sense. It's just to tidy it up. Because if you're watching something nowadays on a 4K screen, you've kind of got to remove the faults, if that makes sense. But it's going to be, as I understand it, I don't know this to be fact, but this is how I understand. You will be seeing what is the original cut, but it will be a fully restored, re-edited original cut. So I believe there will still be complaints about the audio track because
it'll be too good.
purists want the original audio track, and there has been so many changes over the years. Minute changes to the audio track, it should be said. I think people will still not call it the perfect 1977 cinema release version, but it is as near perfect.
The closest you're going to get.
That 99.9% of us will be delighted, and the absolute purists who spend their life effort in restorations won't be. There has been some leaks of some stills, because as I understand it, the company that's been involved in the restoration was sharing clips internally using YouTube and accidentally left it public.
Right. Oh dear.
But
as you do.
But I think people will be very, very happy.
Good. Well, like I say, I think for me, seeing as it was one of the first films I saw in the cinema back in a very cold, snowy February in 1978, to have the opportunity to see that again is, and like you say, Mark, I don't want to wish my life away, but when that comes around, I'm going to be a happy chappy. So there's that. And I think I also said that the other thing that I was really pleased about was the announcement of Starfighter. And I just think this could take Star Wars in a different direction again. We've got some quality actors on board. And from what I saw from Japan, he looks so thrilled to be involved with it. The director, Mr. Levy, looks very, very engaged with it all. It's wrapped. It's all finished filming. It's just got to have all the final tweaks here and there. So I mean, we've got 15, 16 months to wait for this, even maybe more than that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this a lot more than I'm looking forward to Mando and Grogu.
No combs in space. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
my pick for best moment, Star Wars Celebration. Physically very tough. It wasn't particularly well at the time. Couldn't achieve half of what I wanted. A lot of very frustrated moments. But there is nothing better than spending time with your Star Wars friends, I think. And
quite right. Yeah.
That, I think, will always be what Star Wars is now for me. Products and releases and that don't excite me as much anymore. Even doing Star Wars Celebration doesn't excite me anymore. I want to do different events and go different places and experience different things.
Yeah.
But with my Star Wars friends, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it was fun doing Japan. I'd been to Japan before. Great to be back. Great to see a bit of the country. Went on a very fun tour to the top of the mountain, as you see there in the background, and I had a really good laugh. Very fun. Tour guide. Even going to Hiroshima was oddly quite special as well.
Yeah.
In a very strange, eerie kind of way, and going around the museum there, and just a different culture, I think.
Yeah.
It's always a nice learning curve and experience.
I'm very much like you these days, Brian. It's not about collecting stuff; it's about having the experiences. You said before it's like spending time with at events like what Spencer put on, that kind of thing. Not part of the main experience, but things where people who know and love Star Wars have put some effort in.
And it was a little bit like when we went to Finsa. Finsa, an incredible experience. Highly encourage anyone to do the trip.
I want to do that. I definitely
let's
want to
do it for the 50th anniversary.
Let's go. Let's go.
And we'll do a live GMT from Finsa.
Oh, shall we? Yes. Yeah, we'll do that.
And but one of the highlights of that trip was actually going on the trip to the fjords, and the boat trip for that for me was fantastic. Just a fantastic day out, and chance to do that. And as Mark says, 2029, Paul, 50th anniversary of the film, and The Emperor Strikes Back.
Right, we're doing it.
Doing that little extra things when you're doing these conventions, whether that's the trip to the fjords, whether it's a trip to Mount Fuji, that kind of thing, adds that something a little extra special to these trips now, I think, for me. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older and sentimental.
It is. We both are.
But yeah, that was my best moment. I thoroughly enjoyed the experience in Japan. Didn't enjoy getting all my batteries stolen in China from the Chinese government, but that's another story.
Yeah. That's a very random thing to happen, isn't it? But
it was. Last award of the year, best toy, collectible or merch, and you went for Minimox.
I did. So these, for people who have been to things like Echo Base Live, these are very, very tiny versions of the original Star Wars figures. They've done quite a few now. I think they've done all of the Star Wars figures from 78, 79, and all of the Empire figures, and I think they've started doing some of the Jedi and Last 17. They are brilliant. They're just scaled down to such a size. I was hoping to have some to show you because I'm that very stand and Burst 12 I've got on order, but I did receive a note from the creators of Minimox to say that they were a bit behind on posting out, and there was some stuff that was posted yesterday. So I'm expecting I'll probably receive it tomorrow or Tuesday. But when we do, on the next show, Brian, I'll get them and show people what they're like. But yeah, they're so cute. And if you haven't got much space to display Star Wars collectibles, this could be a good route to go down. I've been to a lot of these events where they have these lit up cabinets that you can put on a wall where you put all your figures in it. And if you can imagine having that but miniaturized, how cool would that look? So for me, Minimox, I know they're not an official licensed Star Wars item. They're very much they've been created by fans basically. But
so basically, what you're saying is that none of the licensees did anything for you to consider to be the best.
Well, no, I have said something else, haven't I?
No, I don't think so. I think that was the only one.
No,
That's
I
the only one
didn't.
I've got.
No, just that.
Just
Yeah,
that.
no. Oh no, the other thing that I did really like, although I don't own it, was the HasLab Cantina,
Okay.
which was crowdfunded in 2024, and then sent out to people in 2025. It's very nice. It's very nice, and people that I know that have received it, they love it. But for me, it was just too big, way too big. But yeah,
I went, strangely enough, for the Star Wars Lo-Fi vinyl collection. I don't actually own
what's
any
that?
vinyl, but I have
Right.
this on a download version
Okay.
via Spotify, and I have found myself listening to it so much this year. It was on all my music wrapped end of year collections, was the fact I was listening to Star Wars Lo-Fi, and
So what is it? What is it?
it's basically Star Wars tunes,
Yeah.
but done in a chilled, relaxing background elevator type.
Elevator music.
Yeah. And they do the videos to go with them as well, so you can actually put it on your TV, and it's remember how you used to get like
Yeah.
a fireplace to put on your TV?
Yes.
It's a little bit like that. You can have like a little scene, like you've got the cat out of Ahsoka, Murphy, the cat,
Yeah.
the Loth cat, and he's just sitting purring away, and its chest goes up and down. And you can have that on your
Brilliant.
TV, and it'll play for 20 odd hours just with background music. And I find it just a really chilled, relaxing way, so I can sit at my computer and do some work and have some music in the background that
Yeah.
isn't intrusive or distracting, but it's just nice, chilled. And
That's a cool choice. I like that. And I'm
so that's
looking
what I
there.
went for. It's kind of random
Yeah.
and different. And I know a lot of people are collecting the Star Wars vinyl, and it can be quite an expensive hobby to get vinyl. It
Yeah.
can be quite a challenge to get it. And as Mark says, it's up to volume 5 or 6. I think it's up to 5. I don't know if I've seen 6 yet. Maybe it is. But yeah, great stuff.
Well, I'm going to have to look that up. Yeah, that's
Yeah, you
cool.
can jump on Spotify, type in Star Wars Lo-Fi, you'll find it all.
Yeah.
There's a lot of unofficial ones, but you'll find the
Yeah.
official ones as well. And
That looks like a spattered vinyl that a lot of people do these days. But also the colours of it look very much like the first sort of Star Wars duvet set. So I don't know whether it's based on that, but very cool.
I'm just going to see if I can find it. I don't know if I have got it.
Yeah,
But
it does. It looks like when they do that.
locally or not.
Yeah, very nice.
I don't know. I'm just having a look to see if I have any, and if I have, I'll just play a sample.
I'll go for it. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Where do you think I might have saved it if I'd saved it somewhere?
on your desktop.
Right. Here's another way to do it. Let's go on Spotify. Because I'm amazed you've never heard any of it.
This will be a first for me. Unless it was in the background in one of the Robot Chicken episodes when they are in an elevator. It's nothing like a live Google.
I know. We love it live. You can get let's play a more lively one.
Go on then.
See if you can hear this. I'm not sure if this will play through.
Oh, I know what this is. Yeah. But I mean, you shouldn't mess with that one. That's perfect as it is.
But you get the idea, kind of thing.
Yeah, very early Depeche Mode. I like it.
Yeah. So yeah, something very different, but something
Yeah, I'm
very
going to look into
random.
that. That's cool.
But
Yeah.
that is the end of our awards for 2025. And some
I
great
stand
choices,
by
I
my.
think. I think we've done well. I
Yeah,
think we've picked well.
yeah, we have. We've both picked well there. I stand by those choices. Very good.
Yeah. Not all great things happen, obviously, in a year as well. There's always some sadness, and we lost some incredible people as well, who have touched upon the Star Wars galaxy as well. So I think we take a moment. Let's look at some of the people that we lost this year, and we'll just reflect on their contributions to the franchise as well. And first up, Kenneth Colley, Admiral Piet, as well, who we lost back in June, Paul.
Yeah.
Brilliant actor.
Brilliant actor, lovely man. Met him a couple of times. Very humble, very sort of just an ordinary chap, you know. And let's not forget, I mean, he's also, I think he played Jesus in one of the Monty Python films, I think, in The Life of Brian. So, you know, he's been in a lot of big things over the years. I think he was in Flame or whatever it was called, the Slade film. Um, just a really nice chap. I had quite a long chat with him at the celebration in London. Was that 2016?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, he was one of these actors. There was him, Matthew Wood, and the guy that played Bib Fortuna. Can't think of his name off the top of my head. Even though I've interviewed him a few times, and where they were signing autographs was away from a lot of people. They were sort of like tucked away to one side, so there's a lot of people not actually going along and seeing them. But yeah, I had a nice chat with Ken, and he's just an ordinary guy. He said he really enjoyed what he did, but you know, Slade in Flames, thank you. And but yeah, it's always sad when we lose people, but I mean, he was, as people say, he was a good age.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We also lost the famed artist Dries Struzan as well, who made some of the most amazing of Star Wars poster art as well.
And others, Indiana Jones,
Yeah.
Goonies, so many. A massive talent. But I mean, you know, there he is. I mean, he took various production stills, did his own interpretation of them, composited them in a different way, and made posters that will live on forever. So, yeah, he'll be massively missed.
Clive Revill, who was the voice of the original Empire back in The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, yeah. And that was a real weird composite, wasn't it? Where you've got Clive's voice, you've got, I forget her name, but basically it was a woman wearing makeup.
Yeah.
and
a monkey's eyes, I believe it is as well.
Yeah, monkey's eyes. Yeah. So it was a real mishmash. And whilst I can appreciate that being the original 1980 cut of Empire Strikes Back, I think that's the one change in the special editions that was very much warranted, putting it into that scene.
Yeah. Julian Holloway, who was Prime Minister Almec and Admiral Killen in the Clone Wars.
Yeah. I know the name, and I'm sure I've seen him in other things as well. And this is the beauty of Star Wars. They will cast very accomplished actors, be that from the theatre background or from TV and film, in very sort of minor roles in their cartoon series, and these actors embrace these things. But yeah, give Julian Holloway a Google and see what he's been in. I'm sure he's been in loads of things.
Yeah, and you mentioned great thespian actors there. No more than Terence Stamp, who was Supreme Chancellor Finis Valorum in the prequels.
Yeah, yeah. A great actor, and also probably for many people of our generation, probably best known as Zod in Superman. You know, the original Christopher Reeve Superman films.
Leslie Dilley, he was the art director on a number of Star Wars projects.
Yeah, again, it's not all about the actors and the people that we know off the top of our head. I mean, these people were important. Everybody that was involved in the making of that first film had got so much drive and passion about making effectively a piece of art. There was a lot of people involved with it that thought, oh, we're just making a kids' film, let's see what happens. But for the most part, these people knew that they were creating something special. And I'm sure that Leslie felt that.
Would they have worn those shorts if they knew we'd be watching 50
No.
years later?
No, and I was just checking for to see if there was a boom anywhere, because I thought that might have been Boom Guy, but I believe those were pink shorts, weren't they?
Yeah. Bob Macrae, he was the voice of Red Leader Garen Dreis in the Rogue Leader computer games.
Yeah, now I would have played that game back in the day, but I don't remember. I don't remember his voice in particular, but again, fantastic. And
Martin
I didn't realise that
Gordon.
this chap, I didn't realise he passed away.
Yeah, Fanny and Rogue One, A Star Wars Story.
Yeah, yeah.
Patty Maloney, who was Lumpy in the Star Wars Holiday Special.
No. Oh, can you imagine what it would have been like going and meeting her and getting a picture of Lumpy signed? How funny would that have been?
It would have been.
I'm sure people out there have done that.
Talking computer games as well. Nicky Cat, who was Anton Rand in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords.
Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 both need to be made into some sort of film or TV.
Yeah. And obviously, the director of that game has just been announced to be making a new Star Wars game as well, set in the Old Republic era. So,
can't wait for that.
We spoke about the background talent there. Bruce Logan, who was second unit photographer on miniatures in Episode 4, A New Hope.
Yeah. Brilliant work.
Yeah.
Mark
making a good comment there, because we spoke about the legacy of Vader comics earlier, and Vanny as a character had a resurgence in that comic this year as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. All these people contributed so much.
Background characters as well. Marissa Frank, who was an old woman in the second season of Star Wars Andor, and sadly passed away in the summer. Just as the series would have been airing as well, so very sad.
Yeah, it's a shame if she didn't get to see her work. Yeah.
Jules Walter, who was a human guard in Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi.
And that's weird, because I was watching Jedi the other day. I was thinking there's actually more humans in here than you actually first realise.
I'm going to apologise because I'm going to pronounce this terribly, but Kari Hiraki Kagawa, who was Ulrich Wren in Star Wars Rebels.
Close
that name terribly. But Jim Ward, who did countless voice actor roles in LucasArts video games as well. The last in our list of those who we've lost this year, Paul.
Like you said before we came on air, there was way more than we'd originally thought. So, and it, like I said before, it doesn't really matter how small that role's been. You just don't know whether what we get as output, whether it would have been affected by them not being involved. So, hats off to anybody that had a small part in bringing Star Wars to either the screen, in print, audio, games, whatever. I'm sure that everybody, if I was sort of asked to be third Jawa from the right, I would be over the moon. So
don't know if you get cast in that, Paul.
All
the
right,
aspirations there for being third Java.
All right, and before Mark
it's a challenge, that one. Yeah, I'm not buying it.
Before Mark says I'm going to be a hut.
It's been a fascinating year for the Star Wars. A lot less content this year than we've had in previous years. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing.
I think even with Celebration, it's felt a bit of a gap year, hasn't it?
It has a little bit.
Yeah, yeah,
But I think we're going to have to kind of get used to that. I think it's going to be one big event a year, whether that's a TV show or a movie.
yeah.
Next year we've got The Mandalorian and Grogu.
We've got
It's
Ahsoka.
it's unclear if we're getting Ahsoka because it's not in the Disney Plus playlist for next
Oh,
year.
okay, okay,
They haven't said it's not happening, but they also haven't said it is.
okay. Because it's all wrapped and everything, isn't it? It's all
Yes. So I think
yeah.
it's probably got more to do with timing. And I do wonder if that might be a winter release in the same kind of window that Skeleton Crew fell
Possibly.
into.
Yeah, maybe use it as a tease
And it
for what's
just
going to
sort
come
of
in.
gives them the start of the year to build to The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah,
The summer
yeah,
to push that when it's in cinema, on Blu-ray, on Disney Plus.
yeah,
You've got Maul, I think, probably going to be the August-September release, judging by when the comic comes out.
yeah,
And that brings you down to the end of the year to push out Ahsoka and
yeah.
build you up for Starfighter.
And beyond that, at
And
the
beyond
moment, a
that,
bit
who
unclear.
knows? Who knows?
Yeah, yeah. But maybe, I mean, I think we have almost been spoilt with the level of content we've had in the last sort of 7 or 8 years. I mean, we're used to the old days where you had one film every 3 years. Uh, and in some ways that's better. Certainly it is for the collecting community and the action figure producers because you've got a longer time to spread the figures release over. I think at the moment, and what has pulled a lot of people out of collecting, be it comics, be it action figures of any scale, is that we're bombarded with stuff. There's way too much stuff comes out. People can't afford it, and in real terms, it would be better, like we had back when, say, The Empire Strikes Back came out, where we had figures released in 80, 81, 82. And to me, that just works better. So if we went back to those sort of days and those sort of release schedules, I think that would benefit Star Wars rather than be to its detriment.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
I'm looking forward to the ILM's 50th anniversary book as well next year.
Yes, yeah.
I think that'll be the marquee publishing event of the year for me.
Yeah.
But even on the publishing front, it's a little bit quiet. The High Republic's come to the end. It's not really clear where the focus is going to be in the comics for next year
Yeah.
either. So yeah, a lot that needs development and announcements around. Don't know how that's going to be handled because we don't have a Star Wars show.
No.
The Week in Star Wars is kind of just a clippy little Instagram video now. There's no Star Wars Insider. There's no Star Wars Celebration next year.
True. But on the plus side, there is Good Morning Tatooine.
There is. So it's a case of their PR strategy is going to have to change dramatically.
Yeah.
They no longer have their own outlets. To me, StarWars.com I rarely visit it unless there's a big press announcement, and
I never go to it. It's always very, very behind the times, isn't it? Yeah.
The Star Wars app is pretty much non-existent anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Star Wars PR have a lot of hard work to do. The Mandalorian Grogu has got very few views on its trailer compared to any other film, such as Supergirl,
Avengers.
for example, is massively outperforming it. So it's worrying times in that regard for me. I don't know quite how the whole license is being handled.
Yeah.
We're probably going to have a change in president at Lucasfilm next year by what Kathleen Kennedy has previously said. We're definitely going to have a change in CEO at Disney, and that can have massive ramifications as well.
Yeah.
Because the last time Bob Iger quit, he never really quit. He kind of was always this ominous presence in the background. So you would think whoever takes the role this time, number one priority is to make sure that Bob Iger is out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, there's going to be a lot of politics this coming year, which, as much as we all like to avoid, the ramifications for Star Wars is huge.
Yeah. I think for me, one of the saddest things is when you look back to a few years ago when they announced that huge slate of programs that and films that were going to be coming out that included things like The Rangers, the Lando project. There was
Droid
a C-3PO and R2 droid Tales thing, yeah. And none of it has come to fruition.
No.
So
the Rey movie, nobody knows
the Rey
what's happening.
Movies, yeah.
The biggest
And
embarrassment for the years for them has probably been all the news about the hunt of Ben Solo.
Yeah. Which have got such a weight of sort of want behind it, you know.
There's just this. There's not a positive atmosphere in Hollywood around Lucasfilm at the moment. It would be fair to say, I think.
Yeah.
That the stock has fallen considerably. That it doesn't necessarily have the attraction to movie makers or actors to be a part of anymore, and almost to the point you kind of feel they want to avoid it a little bit.
Yeah, but that's also been the case with other franchises. I mean, and you know, DC have struggled for quite some years now. I think even Marvel to a certain extent. I think a lot hinges on how the Avengers stuff does this year.
Yeah.
So it's not just Star Wars, but that's the one that we care about and want to survive and thrive.
Yeah.
It needs the right people behind it, and it needs somebody to look at the situation that you just brought up. You know, like the Ben Solo idea, and to say, right, people potentially want this. Let's do it, instead of saying, no, that ship sailed. Have some balls and say, come on, let's have a look at this. Let's see what we can do. Because if there is a market out there for it, and I'd be happy to go along with that and see that. So yeah, I just think some people need to just sort of put their big boy pants on and make some good decisions. Yeah.
And on that note, I think it's almost time for us to say farewell to 2026. We'll just wait for Mr. Newbold to
2025.
2025. Good point. Wait for Mr. Newbold to frantically type up what's coming up on Father Tracks Radio. But Mark does make the point. The entertainment landscape is changing and Star Wars needs to ride that wave. It does indeed. And I'm not entirely sure that it's got the right people and the right roles to ride that wave.
No.
But yeah.
No.
Coming
needs
up
a shake-up.
On Father Tracks Radio.
Hey!
Making Tracks 244 on Tuesday, the final Father Tracks Radio episode of the year. And on Friday, Planet Leia episode number 28, the first of 2026.
Wow.
So be sure to tune in to Father Tracks Radio on your podcatcher of choice.
Yeah. So I suppose all that remains for us to say, Brian.
Yeah, it's a good night from me.
And it's a happy new year from him.
Keep up to date with the latest Star Wars news each and every day on FanthaTracks.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr, and Pinterest at FanthaTracks. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow FanthaTracks TV to be alerted to new content and to be a part of our live shows.